We are living in a world of too much information. I'm reading Johan Hari's Stolen Focus, and there was an interesting stat that in 1986, the average human digested what amounted to like 40 newspapers worth of information on a daily basis. By 2007, it was up to 147 newspapers worth of information, and so that's 21 years. I would imagine by 2024, it's exponentially gotten higher, right? I mean, we're probably somewhere around 200 newspapers of information a day. And so I don't even really like the comparison of newspapers because newspapers implied some sort of curated and at least some level of fact-checked information. And obviously, newspapers come with their own bents. But the point is it's controlled information in a newspaper. And what we're digesting now is disinformation, misinformation, good information, and everything in between. It's like saying, our caloric intake kind of, quadrupled or something without accounting for the fact that most of the gains in caloric intake are coming through empty calories like candy and soda, right? And so what does this mean? I mean, I really think it leads to all of this knowledge without understanding. I really think this is one of the key facets of modern existence, especially for the kids who've grown up on the internet, just digesting all of this information, being able to go down whatever rabbit hole they want, that there's all of this decontextualized knowledge, knowing orphaned facts without understanding the underlying issues. Because in Hari's book, he also kind of talks about the myth of multitasking, that the human mind can't actually multitask, that it can think of one or two things at a time. Otherwise, it's shifting back and forth. And in the shifting, we're creating all sorts of needless mental activity and stress that wears us out, right? That every time you shift your focus, like say, I'm doing this, in between reading the book. Now, when I go back to reading the book, I have to expand or exert mental activity to figure out where I was, where I left off, get myself back up to speed. And so these kind of like changes in attention actually come with real cost in brain power. And so when you consider all of this new information, what it means is we're not actually spending time on little pieces of information, right? We're moving quickly from topic to topic. I mean, just think of scrolling. Think of all of the different, like from one video to the next, it's a different topic. Right? The algorithm, shows us a lot of similar things, but we're shifting topics. And so what that means, this leads to this knowledge without understanding. We're not actually seeking to understand, we're seeking to know, and we're actually losing in that equation. I think one area this is really consequential is mental health. It's a topic I talk about on here. It's a topic I listen to creators on here. But it's also a topic that I think we're being given too much information on. Too much knowledge, not enough understanding. Too much kind of like flexing, here's what I know, that puts all of us into this kind of paralysis of information where we think we're this one day, then we think we're that, then we think we're both, then we think we're another thing. And it's this constant kind of attempt to understand something that's really unknowable, right? I mean, and so for me today, I've long said that this informational thing, that kind of social media has conditioned our thoughts to be short, that like we're living in this fast edited, like shortcut movie, that are just this boom, 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 instead of the long takes, and that we need to kind of get back to stretching out our thoughts, stretching out our patience and engagement with information, right? To actually understand, not just to know. I mean, I really see this with a lot of the younger people I work with, where they have all the right words, and when you're talking to them, they've understood the assignment, and they're mirroring the words they've heard from all of these therapists online and all of these people talking about mental health. But when you start digging deeply, the experiential understanding isn't there, and I don't think this is a good thing. I think that it's created what I call information paralysis in multiple areas, but mental health especially, that I think we need to start, I've long said that, like, it used to be that we had to be curious, go search out information, right? You'd had to go buy the newspaper. Now we have to curate the information because we have this thing in our pocket that's always the easiest thing to do, is just turn it on and dissociate from the world out here, this real world of experience into the cyber world of language, of just hearing about things, of just digesting information and pretending that we now understand it. There is no real answer to this. I mean, to me, it's like turning off the phone, go putting the phone in the other room. Like, Hari talks about like practicing. So what I've been doing is setting a 15-minute timer, reading for 15 minutes, and then allowing myself to check my phone in the other room. And then I'll stretch that to 20, then 25, and really start to kind of like stretch my thoughts out again, stretch my level of engagement with singular topics with this understanding that we can't actually multitask. It's actually hurting us to pretend that we can. That what we need are uninterrupted flow states of singular activities.